So the March on Washington starts independent of the big six of the civil rights movement, independent of Martin Luther King Jr. and Wilkins and Randolph and all these people. The Negroes are upset, they're pissed off, they're feeling oppressed, and they are willing to go to the Capitol to get shit done, right? And that's respectable as all hell. But JFK, see, he can't be having that. So he brings the big six up to Washington and he sits them down and he says, "You got to get these Negroes under control." And to do so, he pays them $800,000, and that's in 60 years ago money. So that's a lot of money. And so King is going up there. King is going up onto the stage with minimum like $100,000 in his pocket. And JFK promised them $700,000 split up amongst them after the march is over, after they manage to gain control of the masses again, after they manage to control their minds again. And King did a great job. He did such a good job that we still play that speech today. We still play that speech of his queer, quivering voice of "I have a dream." We still play that shit today to our kids, in our schools, in the colleges. And we applaud it. We think it's great. And it's not. It's pure evil. It is the opposite of Christianity. It's use of like Christian Bible verses and fancy words and rhetoric and all this shit is just so disgusting when you realize what the core message of it is. And the core message of the "I have a dream" speech is the Tower of Babel. The core message of it is that if we all forget our differences, and the little black boys and little white girls and little white boys and little black girls just hold their hands and play, then we can build some sort of a society together. And how the fuck's that going over the past 60 years since we all had that dream? No. Black people still black people, white people still white people. We still live in our own areas. We still speak our particular ways. I mean, I can't hardly understand some black people. And the Bible says that these different ethnic groups, these different nations, these different races, which Negroes and Americans clearly are different nations, should live in different areas. They should live in different lands. And this is what Malcolm X said, right? Funny how he's more Christian in his views on race than the Baptist preacher, and he's a Muslim, right? And so he says you should take him to Africa. But JFK ain't gonna do that. That'd be way too much time, way too much money. It'd be too much for him to even, portion off an area of America. Way too much. Can't do that. Just get him the hell under control, MLK. Just get him the hell under control. Shut him up. Send him home with some ideas, some flowery thoughts based on lies, based on satanic lies. And oh boy, King delivered. King delivered. And the way that they shot the cameras, the way that they pan over, it just perfectly comes together. And then once you get the guy assassinated, you got him stuck in history forever. You forget all the other civil rights leaders. I didn't even know that one of the big six was like a Democrat politician or whatever who died like in 2020 or whatever. I didn't even know that until I started looking into this stuff, because they just blown the hell out of King. Like, that's the one guy that you will know. They make sure you know him, and they make sure you know his speech. Even if you don't know all the lines, you know that speech. Why? Because Satan wants to pound the Tower of Babel into your head. Satan wants to tell you that you gotta have this dream. You gotta have this dream of there ain't no nations, there ain't no races, there ain't no different language groups, there ain't no different people with different cultures and different values. Everyone's got to be the same. And the only way that you get there is by these liars, who sell out for money. And the second that king gave that speech and it ended and they had it all. They had it all after that. There was no getting them to Africa anymore. There was no putting an area out in the United States. Everyone has this dream now. Everyone had this dream. And eventually the people who opposed that dream died off. The Malcolm X dream, the biblical dream of everyone living on their own land with their own people, that died off. We forgot that. That got called racist. You ain't allowed to think that no more, or else you'll be deplatformed, you'll be banned, you might lose your job. But that's still the truth. That's still the truth. And when shit comes down, when the government comes down based on these lies, when Babel falls and it becomes tribe again, it becomes nation again, because that's what God's built into us, well, you better have a people, you'd better have a land, and you better know these things, or else you are going to be stuck with your pants down, and you're not going to know what the hell to do, because all the lies you've been fed from King over these decades, you're going to realize, for real, that they are all bullshit.